Thank you for the kind introduction, and thank you also for the special message and song. I believe that because God is our creator, our redeemer, and our friend, it is just but proper for us to commit our lives to Him. So, once again, happy Sabbath to everyone. First, I'd like to thank the organizing committee for giving me the opportunity to become part of this week of prayer. Actually, when Sergio told me that I would be part of the week of prayer, I told him I don't think I can make it because I'm still with sanitary. But then he said, I think you cannot refuse because they placed your name in the program already. But then I said, but you know, it's very far. And I'm not used to traveling alone, especially public ride. And it would take around 6 to 8 hours. But then after a few days, Yoda told me they're going to pick you up. So walang lusot. So I arrived yesterday, and I'm so thankful for Bernard, who has picked me up and has helped me to be able to come here safely, safe and sound. Today, we are going to study again another AHD. People from a happy destination, we are going to study another AHD, another happy disciple. And it is in the person of Simon. Simon. Simon is called Zealot, which has apparently 2 surnames in the scriptures. He is also called, aside from being called Simon the Zealot, he is also called Simon the Canaanite. And in Hebrew, actually this means that this doesn't actually mean that he is from Canaan or he is a Canaanite. But the Greek language tells us that the word Canaanite is also translated as Zealot. Simon the Zealot is actually the 11th disciple in the list, the 12th being Judas. He was a man of good ancestry and lived at Capernaum. And he was a merchant in Capernaum before he turned his entire attention to the patriotic organization of the Zealots. And he was about 28 years old when he became attached to the apostles. And when he became a part of the 12 apostles, he was really a fiery agitator, and he also spoke much without thinking. Simon was also noted to be a radical because of being a zealot. And he was really determined to overthrow the Roman army. He was undoubtedly prone to mistakes, exaggerations, wrong attitudes, and lapses of faith, as were all the apostles and any of us. So by nature, Simon was a rebel, but Jesus had won him for the higher concepts of the kingdom of heaven. And he was an ordinary man with extraordinary hatred. But just the same, God loved him. He was noted to be sick with passion. However, the Pharisees were very objective to this. And the more, many of them thought that he would never become part of the 12 apostles because there were more others who were qualified than him. So first, what is a zealot? Before we go on to the historical background, what is a zealot? A zealot is one who has been trained and who is so fanatic about his religious and his political affiliations. And it is also synonymous to being enthusiastic, extremist, radical, and diehard. And most of the time, those who are said, the zealots are said to be so passionate and so enthusiastic about and so devoted on doing what they have been trained to do. And in fact, during those times, these zealots were said to be part of also a group called the Zachary, wherein they would carry on a very sharp object like a dagger into their robes, and then whenever they would be in a large crowd and they would be able to associate with the Roman soldiers or tax collector, they would take this dagger and hit or pierce their enemies at the back, hitting the heart directly. And so they were so passionate on killing people who were not in accordance to what they believed in. So for the historical backgrounds, there are four basic political and religious parties at the time the zealots were one. First, we have the Pharisees, who had their rules and their laws. Then we have the Sadducees, who were rich and in charge of the temple. Then the third group are the Essenes, who were said to be more conservative than the Pharisees. In fact, they live their lives in accordance to the Mosaic law. Zealots are said to use sabotage and assassination to advance their political agenda. And they believe that only God has the right to rule over them. They actually believe that they were doing God's work by assassinating anyone who rules in this place. And for this morning, we are going to study 3 lessons that we can learn from the life of Simon the Zealot. Firstly, that passion is good. Secondly, that vengeance is God's. And thirdly, God wants us to depend on Him and fend for Him. First, that God is good. Well, we may be zealous in doing our responsibilities in our respective departments or in our respective clusters at work. We might be passionate in spreading the gospel to the people around us. But there are times, let us remember, there are times that we will face opposition. There will be people who will go against us, even hurt us, either physically or emotionally. And sometimes these challenges will cause us to get angry and think of ways to avenge ourselves. Well, God wants us to be zealous for loving Him and serving others. And even though we have those challenges, if there are people who would go against us, then it is not for us to have vengeance. Maybe we don't pull the trigger or have detonate bombs just like the terrorists. But Jesus said in Matthew 5:21 that if we hold unto anger with someone, we are already murdered them. That brings us to point number 2, that vengeance is not ours, vengeance is God. Romans 12:17-21 says, and let us read it, do not repay anyone for evil. Be careful to do what is right in the eyes of everybody. 18, if it is possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone. 19, do not take revenge, my friends, but leave room for God's wrath. For it is written, it is mine to avenge, I will repay, says the Lord. Verse 20, on the contrary, if your enemy is hungry, feed him. If he is thirsty, give him something to drink. In doing this, you will heap burning coals on his head. And 21, do not be overcome with evil, but overcome evil with good. Yes, vengeance is not ours, but God's. Well, Simon was said to be one of the bad guys. In fact, it was never expected that he would be part of the disciples. And even more, some thought that he would become the betrayer because of his historical background. A man of such passion, zeal, and conviction that would align himself with the most feared terrorist organization of that day surely could have become an apostle. But even if Jesus was crazy enough to choose him, surely he wouldn't stay at one. However, Simon became one of the Lord's greatest apostles. Simon became Simon BC. Before Simon was one of the zealots who were really against the Christians. However, when he became one of the apostles, everything changed in his life. Passion is good, but vengeance is God's. And I think this is what Simon learned. Jesus said in John 15, verse 18, "If the world hates you, keep in mind that it hated me first." Since before Christ would be rejected, but Simon with Christ apparently took them to heart. And instead of assassinating people who disagreed with him and what he said about Christ, he became willing to die for them. So yes, point number one, passion is good. And yes, point number two, vengeance is not ours but God's. So that brings us to point number three. What should we do? God wants us to learn to depend on Him and not to fend for Him. God doesn't want us to fight for Him. Instead, Jesus told Pilate in John 15, verse 36, "My kingdom is that of this world. If I were, my servants would fight to prevent my arrest by the Jews. But now my kingdom is from another place." Jesus didn't come to fight for His kingdom. Instead, Jesus came to die for it. John 15:13 says, "Greater love has no one than this, that He would lay down His life for His friends." And John 12:32 adds, "But I am lifted up from this earth and draw all men to myself." So even though Jesus was falsely accused, even during His trial, He remained silent. We need to learn to depend on Jesus and what He thinks of us. We need to stop fighting for ourselves, but instead, we should allow Jesus to come into our lives. We don't need to try to fight for Jesus because He doesn't need to be defended. Because of course He can defend for Himself. And to add to that, there is nothing to be afraid of. No one to be intimidated by. The truth can be fair, and we did not coerce, manipulate, or threaten people into believing the truth as it is in Jesus. Maybe God is waiting for the church to stop fighting for Him and, like Simon the Zealot, to start loving for Him. Several early sources say that after the destruction of Jerusalem, Simon took the gospel truth and he went to the north and preached in the British Isles. And after Acts 1:13, he disappeared from the biblical record. And there is no available record after that. However, there were also accounts that says that he was killed for preaching the gospel. For a man who was once trained to king in Bible times, he became one who was willing, like the Savior, to die and eventually live. But not for religio-political agenda, or merely for a select group of people in Israel. But he came to preach the gospel to the people around him, so he could be used by God. The radical transformation in the life of a zealot like Simon reminds us that such a transformation is also possible in the life of a sinner like us. When we all get to heaven, we might be able to see Simon there. And maybe he will tell us, "See, I am just an ordinary man with extraordinary hatred. But despite what I have been before, I have been transformed because God has taken over me and He has transformed me to having one, instead of being possessed with hatred and anger, now I am possessed with love." 2 Corinthians 12 verse 9 says, My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly about my weakness, so that Christ's power may rest on me. That is for Christ's sake. I delight in weakness, and in insults, in hardships, in persecutions, and in difficulties. For when I am weak, then I am strong. Let us continue to ask God to help us to be passionate to be like Him, to learn more to depend on His love and mercy, for us to be able to undergo the complete transformation, just as what happened to Simon Zilla, so that we will become a happy disciple for His kingdom. This is my prayer.
Thank you, Doc, for your time and for sharing an inspiring message for us today. May I call on Sir Pialago to be here in front together with all the department heads who are present today. Please be here as we give this token and the certificate to our speaker, Dr. Lenie Pialago. Adventist Hospital Davao present the certificate of appreciation to Dr. Lenie Pialago for her fervor and enthusiasm as week of prayer speaker, highlighting the life of the disciple Simon. Given this 22nd day of June 2019 at Adventist Hospital Davao, Fellowship Center, signed Marijo S. Pialago, President and CEO. Doc.